Data-driven design is really the practice of merging qualitative and quantitative data to demonstrate the impact of design on business. And I think there are a lot of open questions as to how design is actually impacting business. What is the real return on investment when you spend $1 million, $2 million on an enterprise-wide redesign? How does that impact the customer experience? And certainly there are things around that like Net Promoter System, but really what does it look like at the systems level to be able to impact and show value to our stakeholders when we redesign a product? We're well versed in looking at things in context and doing observational inquiry and that sort of thing, but really it's about defining different types of KPIs for our clients.
And this happened about a year and a half ago. I was on a research project with this Fortune 500 companies, design project we were on, massive project. The SVP just stops me in between, just interrupted my whole speech and said, "Hirsch, I completely agree with what you're saying. Like, there's no doubt about your recommendations. However, I don't even want to discuss phase 2 just yet. I need to see the numbers. I need to see what is the return on investment. If I'm going to spend $2-3 million on this effort, I want to see how you're going to move the needle, the bottom line, for all the design work you're going to be doing." So my thoughts in that moment were like rapid fire. He's actually right. Why shouldn't he know what he's getting back in return? My second thought in the next microsecond was, I bet I'm going to be having the same conversation with another client at some point sooner rather than later. And the third point was that aha moment, like a catalyst in my head, that, why can't we actually have this as a standard practice? Why shouldn't data-driven design and the discussion around ROIs be more of a standard approach that we have with every client? Why shouldn't we be able to talk about ROIs more proactively at the inception of the project versus being reactive about it? We started looking into it even more, and we realized that design goes beyond just having a good user interface or a good user experience that seems to be nice. It has to be meaningful. It has to have a meaningful impact on the business, and that impact needs to be measurable. So what is an analytic? Simply put, it is just a data point. It is just a simple measurement of something. It's a piece of information. So a KPI, a key performance indicator, is a grouping of data points that start telling you a story. They start telling you the story in terms of you can predict what could happen, you could forecast, or you could see trends, or you can see changes in the system as you change that system. We believe in designing from the point of view of a business problem. So think about the statement, this is the business problem I'm trying to solve with this design. It's the framework we are using for our design process, that we're trying to establish our data-driven design process. So what we're doing is we're leveraging these types of research engagements, these snippets from our research, to help frame our, I would say, framework, our approach to data-driven design. What does it actually mean to us? So we go through this iterative loop, refining our forecast or our designs until we reach the point with the client where we feel, this is a happy state.
Hopefully we've opened up your minds to think about what we believe is the next generation of user experience design, where it's not enough to just deliver good design, and certainly it needs to resonate on a visceral and an emotional level. But really we need to, as good stewards of our practice, be evolving in such a way where we can articulate and measure the value of what we're doing to businesses. And I think, to put a finer point on what Hirsch was talking about, it's not just about leveraging data to create some KPIs and launch something in the world, but it's about getting something out there that continuously can be measured and improved upon. And so it's our intent that that framework that we showed is something that we can actually hand over to our clients at some point, because we're not in the business of being long-term data scientists, but it's really about saying, how can we empower our clients to take these systems and these data sets and begin to manage those moving forward.